Alright, this is the second attempt since the first time everything was out of focus and the guitar wasn't in view very well and all that. Hope this was useful in some way. Anyway, I'm going to still slide some clips in from that, just because I think there were some good examples in there. So, but now we'll just go straight with the camera useful stuff. So, you know the position 1 of the minor pentatonic, and this is all in E minor. We're doing it in E minor. So, you know this. Whatever it is, right? So you know that. Now there's 5 notes in the pentatonic. Penta, 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 again. Or E, G, A, B, D. E, G, A, B, D. E, G, A, B, D. E, E. Right? So this is position 1 as it's known. And I'm going to show you position 2 quickly again. And then position 5, because these are all right next to each other and these are really useful, especially if you're just starting out up here and stuff. So position 2, some people call it also the G major pentatonic, which is, I guess, is accurate, but the difference between major and minor is more tonality based, not note based. So G major and E minor have the exact same notes. They just sound different because it's about what sounds like home, what sounds like one, the root, the tonic, home bass, right? I like the term home bass because it sings well. Anyway, I'll get onto that in later on. For now, position 2 minor pentatonic. We'll just jump straight into it. Okay, so here it is in all its glory. It's always going to be 2 note per string. This is what I'm going to show you, is all just 2 note per string. So it's all just 2 note per string stuff, exactly like the first position, So second position, I'm not going to call it the note names, but I might do in a later thing, so whatever. I'll just call it the frets for now. Again, all 2 note per string, so I'll just do 2 and then move on. So low E string, 15, 17, A string, 14, 17, 14, 17, D string, G string, 14, 16, B string, 15, 17, E string, 15, 17. Alright, so now you've got So, you'll notice something, and it gets more obvious further down, but there's 2 sort of hand positions, or intervallic distances, I guess you could call them. So every fret on the guitar is a semitone, right? And when there's a 1 fret gap, that's a full tone, or just a tone, right? Or a major second, so a minor second, major second, or full tone. So there's 4 instances on 4 strings of the full tone, and then 2 on 2 of the strings, obviously, of a minor third, which is a different one. So obviously everything you play on this low E string is going to be the same on the high E string, and vice versa, because tuned to the same note. If you tune your entire guitar to just E, then if you do this and then do the same thing on the next string, it'll sound the exact same. It'll just sound higher or lower, but it'll look, you know, the same. Anyhow, there is actually a song, I think it's Irish by the Goo Goo Dolls, or it might not be Irish, I think it's a different song actually. But there's a song that's E, 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 B, E, I think. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so that's position 2. And the reason I'm talking fast, I was taking it so slow last time. I'm having to record this again and just want to get through it, to be honest. So now, nice and slow, I'll just climb up the pentatonic, and I'll pause at the top, and I'll count you back in, and we'll go back down. And we're just going to do groups of 4, just 1, 2, 3. Well, it's more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're going to be going at a much slower tempo, so it'll sound like 1, 2, 3, 4. But slower tempos can sometimes be harder to keep good time. So if you want, you can subdivide it so you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And where the numbers are, not where the ands are, is where you're going to be playing the notes, right? So 1 and 2 and 3. Anyway, we'll go up to the top and we'll see. So, sorry, I'll just slow it down a bit more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Finish with the octave. Cool. Okay, so position 2, as we've just seen, starts on the second note, if you want to think about it that way, in terms of E minor of the scale. So it goes E, G, A, B, D, back to E, and it starts on the G. Obviously we're not just starting on the second note, because you can just do that here. We're learning the position based around that note as the lowest note in that position. So it's now I'll go into it a little bit later, but starting on the lowest note in a scale is a bad habit when it comes to improvising. It's good for learning where, you know, the exact notes are and the positioning and stuff like that on all the strings and all positions. It's good for learning that, like the technical side. When it comes to improvising or making lines or whatever, I'll get into that later. I'll show you in a minute. It makes it boring and predictable and bad. But it's very, very useful for learning the position. So learn the position first, then get musical later, I guess. You gotta start somewhere in it, so might as well start with something technical and then make stuff musical later on. Then once you've got enough chops, you can start making new stuff you learn musical from the get-go, because you've got fundamentals there, right? Anyway, boring stuff first, I'm afraid. So it's actually not that boring really, but so we've got the second position. Now we're going to go all the way up to the second position. I'm going to pause at the top again just to give you a moment, and then we're going to go down the first position and land back where we started on the second, and then I'll play it again without a pause and then a bit faster. So here we go with the pause. Make sure you can see my hands, I guess, if you want. I don't know how well I can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry I didn't pause there, but 1, 2, 3, 4. so we're going to just go all the way up, all the way down, groups of very slow 4s, then we'll speed it up. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're going to do the 5th position. Now you might be asking, oh, why are we doing the 5th position when we've just done 1 and 2? What the hell? So we've done position 1, starting on the E, position 2, starting on the G, which is the same as G major pentatonic, but again, so is this. All the positions are the same as G major, all positions the same as E minor. Don't worry about that for now. Okay, we're just going to stick E minor because minor keys are always cooler, right? Anyway, we've done this position 1, position 2. Now position 3 actually starts on this note, position 4, position 5. But because we're already so tight, we're already so high up, we're going to move down. So now we'll have a range of like this in a minute. You'll see. So position 5 is nice, and it also exposes something about this part of the sort of position in this part of the neck, and you can obviously see it in other keys, but it's really noticeable in E minor because the 12th fret's got 2 dots there, right? It's literally a visible thing. If you've noticed about the first position minor pentatonic, all the notes on the sort of left side, if you want to think about it that way, or all the notes you play with your index finger, they're all on the 12th fret, they're all to stay there. So you go index finger, different finger, whether it's ring or pinky, and then it goes index finger, next finger, index. And they're all on the exact same fret, is what I should say. They're all on the same fret, they all stay on the 12th fret. So when we go to position 5, and also you might have even noticed this already, but positions will overlap. So I've got position 1, which goes E up to G on the 15th, and those 2 on the 14th. If you start in the second position, you start in there, right? Right, those are the same, right? So this overlaps. So now this left side becomes the right side in your positioning. So whatever you're using to choose, probably your pinky or your ring. I think I pointed that out wrong, but your pinky or your ring, it's all going to be on the 12th fret on this part. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of almost symmetrical in a weird way. So that's nice. And this position also exposes something major about what I said before. So you've got every fret's a semitone. So we're going to have some strings where there's a tone in between, or 1 fret in between, or if you want to count it as 2 frets, like 1, 2, there's your note, or 0, 1, 2, right? And then one with a minor third in between. So I'll just count the frets out first and talk about it later. So here we go, position 5, 5 for the minor pentatonic in E minor, starting on the note D. Here we go. All tune up the string. 10th fret, 12th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret, D string now, 9th fret, 12th fret, G string, 9th fret, 12th fret, B string, 10th fret, 12th fret, high E string, it's going to be the same, 10 and 12, right? Now if you notice, the main numbers are 9, 10 and 12. 4 of the strings are on 10 and 12, and 2 are on 9 and 12. And it's the 2 inner ones that are on 9 and 12. Now it's actually really 3 of the strings because again the E is mirrored, but the minor pentatonic, because of the way it's laid out, there's always going to be 3 intervals of a tone in between and 2 intervals of a minor third in between. And if we do it on 1 string, you can see even clearer. So there's your minor third, tone, tone, minor third, tone, and then back to your first minor third. 2 minor thirds, 1 full tone, if that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Okay, I'm going to play it again without the pause, and then I'm going to play it again without the pause a little bit faster. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more time, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So eventually all these positions you won't be thinking about them as static positions, because the melodies in your head will be flying about too fast, right? So yeah, there's 5 positions or 5 boxes or whatever you want to call them. You can break them up and slot them into, but realistically eventually it should slowly start expanding in your head and in your mind's eye, in your fretboard vision, right? Fret vision, to the point where everything is all one big thing. You can see them all, and you're thinking about them in different ways. So you're thinking about them in chord tones, in the actual note names themselves, like E, A, B, G, right? B, A, E, D. I'm gonna go all the way up, 5th position, slide up, down, 1st position, slide up, 2nd, slide down, and then finish by going all the way back up and down the 5th. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play every note as clean nice clean sound comes with having the notes. Something I noticed a while ago, and I've always tried to work on it, is having the notes ring out as long as possible. Obviously, if you want, like a... if you want staccato, obviously you can still do that, but in my opinion, if you... It's nice to have really long connected notes, and obviously you can staccato them when when it's tasteful. We're going to do 5th position, all the way up and down, a little bit faster now, just see what's going on. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Okay, position 4. Here. Here we go. I'm going to shout out first the sort of, I don't know what I said shout out, I'm going to say it first, the sort of intervallic things. So 2 minor thirds, 3 major seconds in a row. It finishes with a minor third, because E, if you want to think about it that way. Okay, so actually all the left notes, again, I just realised, are all on the 7th fret apart from the note on the B. That's on the 8th fret. One thing you'll notice about learning stuff is particularly gets exposed with things like scales, positioning and all that sort of stuff, and with some chords and when you're trying to figure stuff out. The G and the B string will mess you up sometimes in terms of symmetry. It's just the way the guitar's tuned. So it's to make as many of these open chords work as possible. Do you know what I mean? To have them nice and easy and stuff. So it's guitar's tuning 4ths, apart from the distance between G and B is a major third. So it goes. That's a 4th. That's a 4th. That's a 4th. There's your major third, right? And then finishes with a 4th again. My guitar's a bit out of tune, my apologies. 4th position. Ready? So 2 notes per string. Always going to be, I'm just going to say that, why not? Okay, low E string, go. 7th fret. 10th fret. 7th fret. 10th fret. That's your 2 minor thirds. 7th fret. 9th fret. 7th fret. 9th fret. There's 2 out of E3 full tones or major seconds. 8th fret. And then 10th fret. There's another major second, just shift it up. And back to the same E mirror. Minor third, 7th fret. Up to 10th fret. Okay, so let's just do it very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of going up and down again, we'll do something extra fun in the end. And just show you position 3, because why not? But before I do that, I will just say quickly, because I think I forgot to mention it. that second fret position you learn, that second position you learn, sorry, didn't mean to say fret, starting on the G, you can find that down there. Spoiler alert, this G down is going to be the other G. You can do it down there because there's room, right? So it's the third fret. So you can use the exact same finger position and everything, because it is the exact same notes on the same strings, right? It's just up an octave. So actually, that was an illegal move. That wasn't pentatonic. So that's that down there. Right. And this position you learned, the fifth position up here. Obviously you can mirror it up here, but that's pretty high, so we'll just ignore that for now. Ignore that for now. The fourth position. Is up here, where that B is. That's why it's useful to know these notes on the low, so you can go. Okay, so third position, and third and final. Here we go. We're starting on A, the low E string, all tune up the string again, and the first three is your major second, sort of one fret gap things. So here we go. One. I don't know. I'm going to call it out first, what am I doing? So here we go. 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. D string now. 5th fret, 7th fret, G string, 4th fret, 7th fret still, and another minor third. So that's a minor third. There's another minor third, but it's shifted up one, right? So shifted up one. 5th fret with the B string, and 8th fret, and then another major second because it's mirrored. 5th fret, 7th fret, right? So. Okay, so there's all the positions, and now you can use that, right, everywhere you want. There you go, that's all your minor positions, and remember it's only 5 notes, it's only the notes E, G, A, B, D, E. And before we do something cool in a minute, I'll just show you this Guthrie Govan lick. I believe the video is called Slinky, either Slinky Guitar Lick in E or Slinky Sitar Like Guitar Lick in E. I'm not sure about the sitar part. And it just makes use of all the positions going from 5, if you think about it this way in positions, all the way from the 5th position all the way up to the 5th position again up here. But it's all just doing 2 notes out of each position. So we're down here, right? I mean down relative to this. So we're down here, but we're only using these first 2 notes on the 2 strings, and we're going to go, and it slides in. So it sounds like this first, or even if we don't have 24 frets. So that's the idea, right? If you think about it, if you want to help your ear out a little bit on this bit as well, like think about that melody of and it actually stays pitch-wise. Actually stays in the same region. It doesn't actually go lower than that note, I believe. So it's only in one octave. It's basically like doing this. Actually, the last, obviously the lowest note is like D. Oops. But it just slides up. So we're going to go up here, 5th position, just go slide up and down, and then back onto that note and slide up into this, that position, position 1. And that's on the B and G strings, and we're going to slide up again on the D and G on this sort of second. So I'm sure you get the idea. You can watch his video anyway, I'm sure he explains it much better. But you can do something fun with that, is you can move it all around all positions. So we're starting on the sort of top note of this 5th position. So now we're going to start on the top note of the 4th position. Right, so you can and then move it down. Oops. And then oh yeah, if you wanted to learn the Gmajor New Light solo, that's all pentatonic, and it's all pretty much in this 1st position and this sort of 5th position. I mean, you can play it anywhere. That's the cool thing about this, learning this, is you can take a lick like, and you can play it anywhere. Right? Okay, so here we go. Low E. E, G, A, B, D, E again. And you can keep going if you want. A, B, D, E. I'm going to stop at the 12th fret because the nice thing about E minor is all the open strings all belong to the key. So A, B, D, E, G, A. Might as well go down. G, E, D, B. I'm going to call out before so you can hear my voice properly. Okay, D string. D, E, G, A, B, D, D, B, A, G, E, and D. Okay, G string. G, A, B, D, E, G, E, D, B, A, G. Never done that before, that's kind of funny. B string. Okay, B, D, E, G, A, B, A, G, E, D, B. Okay, so E string is going to be the same, so E, G. If you want as well, it's nice to limit yourself just to learn the neck a bit better, like to 2 or 3 strings, so just a high 2 strings. next two strings if you want, or even skip a string, so just the G and E. And then you can even permutate if you're that bored, you know. Okay, I'm going to do B and E, G and E, D and E, A and E, E and E, which is kind of pointless. And then, you know. Right, that's sort of idea. Okay, I'm not sure what else to throw into here. Okay, here's a quick tip on improvising in terms of starting on the lowest note in the scale, and why starting on the lowest note and just going through it like robotically is only really useful for the technical learning it side, you know, just to get the notes in your brain and to get it to work on it so much where it goes to the back of your brain, it goes to your monkey. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little thing, and I'll just show you why it's bad to, you know, if you're only, you know, in a musical sense, an improvising sense, if you're only used to starting on the lowest note, that sounds bad. So you're improvising. So it just sounds like nonsense in a way. So if you want, okay, hit it, 3, 4, you know, it kind of sounds good because I'm doing other stuff in there, but if you're purely improvising and you start on a low note and you sort of, you know, new to improvising, it's just going to sound bad, man. So start in the middle of the scale, there's a perfectly valid note. So there's, in this first position, there's 3 E's, right? The low and high E strings, and there's one on the D string, right in the middle. So start on the middle note sometimes. I'm going to start all pentatonic. Right, you start there in the middle. 2, 3. It's going to stick to boring pentatonic. It's going to sound kind of boring, but it's not going to sound like this. It's like an exercise, right? It sounds crap, but if you start in the middle. Okay, that's enough for that. That's too much fun for one day. So yeah, that's why it's better to just start in the middle, right? Make a nice big statement or something, or even if you want to start softly. Just sounds more musical in my opinion, and it's not. You can start at the lowest point in a thing, you know, and you can just start on like. And you can even stay low. I noticed when I was getting really into Jacko, he's a bass player, and everything's on the lowest 4 strings pretty much, so I was playing so much just on the low 4 strings in lower positions, but it's really cool. It really opens you up a little bit. Okay, so here's the thing when it comes to improvising, mainly when it comes to beginner stuff like learning scales, and improvising and stuff like that in general, especially beginner stuff for some reason, which is weird because it's probably the most important thing, is about tonality and about chords, man. Like the importance of chords in music is you know, it is music pretty much. You know, there's three main parts. It's rhythm, harmony, melody. I'd say even rhythm is probably even more important than harmony and melody. I'd say melody's last, if anything. Maybe rhythm and melody together are nice because that's like old folky stuff, I guess. Alright, let me just okay, so yes, I said earlier, second position of the E minor pentatonic, sometimes called the G major pentatonic, and that is true. G major and E minor are the same when it comes to pentatonic or even the 7-note heptatonic scales, like the major scale and the minor scale. They're the exact same notes, but they're different sounds. So it's like, what the hell's going on here, right? It's like kind of magic in a way. The more I think about it, like even, you know, it's crazy. Like, you know, you might not even think it's like that crazy now, but for some reason, the more you think about it, the more it's just like, that's kind of mind-boggling. Like it's sort of up to the human ear to decide what's going on, in a way. And it's funny because you can sort of trick people into hearing one thing over the other and stuff like that. So G major and E minor, we're just going to stick to the pentatonic for now, are the exact same notes. E, G, A, B, D, E again. So E again. So it's just 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exact same notes. G, A, B, D, E. Back to G again. The exact same notes. What makes them different? I don't even have to play chords for this, but what I think is very overlooked, underlooked, I don't know how to say it, but and especially in beginner guitar sort of material and tutorials and YouTube stuff, especially when it comes to scales, this stuff's really important because it gives you the context of the music. So I'm saying G major and E minor are the same, right? How can that be? Sorry, I dropped my plectrum. Okay, so G major and E minor are the exact same notes, but how can one be major, you know, nice and happy, and one be minor, one be sad, right? Mine is typically nice and sad. How can that be? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it does. It's to do with tonality. It's to do with center, the root, the tonic, right? The home base, as I like to say, because it is nice. Got a nice ring to it. It makes a lot of sense, at least in my head. So I'm just going to say that from now on. And I got that from somewhere else. I didn't make that up, obviously. So I'm not going to have to play chords to demonstrate this. So here's here's G major. We'll start with G major. So I'm going to start with the root because why not? So here's G major. Ready? So wants to go back to G, right? To go back to G, no matter what note I linger on. Wants to go back to G, right? Now, the exact same notes. I'm going to try and stick to pentatonic as much as possible, but it's nice to throw in the major scale in there. Okay, E minor, ready? I might even start on the G, why not? wants to go there. I did throw in a little sneaky move in there, but it helps you bring right to minor, right? Exact same notes, different sound. Kind of nice, kind of cool. And this stuff gets really useful when it comes to modal. I'm going to show you another example, but with chords in the back. Don't know how well that links, but back to G, right? Always wants to go back to that G. Oh, I shouldn't have deleted that. Anyway, but now with E minor chords, ready? Nice into the E, right? Even do pentatonic. Let's go to that E. I'm going to try going to the G. It's going to kind of work because it's in the chord still, it's in E minor. But it doesn't have the same ring as this. So, hopefully that makes sense. Same notes, a little bit of sneaky moves here and there, but you don't need that. I'm just trying to drive the point home a little bit. Depends on the chords, basically, or how you imply it. But if there's chords in the song, which, to my recollection, songs have chords most of the time. Keyword most of the time. That's a few words. Anyway. If you've got a song like that, it's in a very obviously a minor key, you can't imply the major really, especially when you're one instrument on its own and everything else is pounding on the minor. It's like, nah, it's not going to work. You're going to sound kind of melodic because it's, again, they're related. So if you play E minor stuff over G major, you'll sound kind of cool. If I do this now, actually. Try and play E minor stuff, but it wants to drag me back down. To the sort of the third and the root. Kind of works, but not as good as this. Alright? We can still use that stuff, you know. Anyway, I think I've gone too long with this, but yeah, it's about context and implications.